Coming to you live June 25th. Sage is around 5:45. This is a situation right now. We got the dog days of summer. The Giants can't even beat the Marlins. Niners already finished up mini camp. I think we got what, Sage? About 2 months away from training camp. We got the NBA draft, but the Warriors don't even have a pick. So we had to get a little bit creative for a topic this weekend. Really what me and Sage want to dive into, we just want to dive into the entire state of sports in the Bay Area. Sorry, Sharks fans, we're not going to talk about you. We're talking about the Giants. We're talking about the 49ers. We're talking about the Warriors. We really want to get a gauge on what it's like to be a fan in the Bay Area right now and what the outlooks on these teams are. So, Sage, it's been a while. I think it's been about 3 weeks, so I'm going to pass the ball to you. I know that you're ready to get some shots off. Just overall, when you think of sports in the Bay Area, what are you thinking right now?
Chase, happy to be back, happy to get going. But I mean, to the topic, to your question here, I just think it's a weird, era. It feels like we're at the end of a lot of things, or the potential end of a lot of things on, baseball, kind of a little different, but for the Warriors, right? It seems like a transition period is about to come. Like, this is the last breath for them. If they're going to do it, they got to do it now. They got Jimmy Butler. Warriors fans are begging for them to make some moves this offseason. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to be? We'll know the end of it soon. It's 2 years. With the Niners, it's a lot different, man. Like, it feels like it could be a transition period depending on how the season goes. Like, fans want Shanahan out. Some fans want Lynch out.
Who wants Shanahan out? Nobody wants Shanahan out.
There's a segment. There's a segment,
but fuck that segment.
I'm not saying myself, but I'm saying, like, you don't know what's going to happen there. It feels like they're at the middle. The Niners or the Warriors are at the end. The Niners are in the middle of it, and the Giants are just at the beginning. You bring in Posey, second year of Bob Melvin. You see them making trades. It just feels like we're in this big, it's like life's a cycle, right? The Warriors are leading it. It seems like they're about to come right back once Steph retires, and we're going to see it, keep going around in circles.
We're going to get to this a little bit later, Sage, because this was something that I was thinking. I did a lot of research before this one, so I'm going to agree with you. But what I'm going to say is that I don't think that this is going to be the end for any of these teams in the Bay, because we're just in the Bay Area is humming. I mean, if you just look at all the teams, how they're doing financially, we're always going to be big players in the market. But Sage, I agree with you, because I think that it's all in mode now for all three of these teams. Like, we're all in. If you look at the Giants, yes. Also, I think this is the first time that we're talking Giants. So
ever
little history time for the pod right now. This is the first time we're talking baseball, but you got Buster Posey coming in. He comes in, I think, Sage, what? I think they have the 28th ranked farm system. They got no young guys coming up. You have no talent in the major league squad, so you sign Adames. You get that trade for Devers a couple weeks ago, and now you look at it, they got about 3 major contracts that are going to last around 8 to 10 years. They're going to be 35 when these contracts are done. So they're going all in with these 3 guys. We know what's happened with the Warriors. You got 2 to 3 years left of Steph Curry. You made that trade for Jimmy Butler. You're trying to do whatever it is you can to get Steph Curry that championship. Who knows? Maybe next year it's getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, but right now it's just rolling with that trio of Jimmy, Dre, and Steph. And then you got the 49ers, who we've talked about it probably too many times, but you probably got 1 to 2 years left of this window. So, Sage, I don't know. I feel like it's all in mode for these teams, and when I just look at the entire landscape, that's what I'm seeing. These teams are successful. They're going to be competing for championships, but it's all in right now. And you got to love it if you're a sports fan.
I agree. I think I don't know if it's all in yet for the Niners. I think the Niners are in a weird period where you saw what happened with the free agency. Yes, they hit on the draft. We got to see these guys, kind of play out. But are they really all in? It seems like they just let a bunch of guys go. They made the Bryce Huff trade. They haven't really made any other big free agency moves. I think they're kind of in a setback. The Warriors couldn't agree more. I mean, you see it. Steph's 37. Steph's going to be 38 years old this year. He's not LeBron. He can't just, rely on his body, rely on his size. He needs to get open. He needs to be quick. He needs to be able to get open off the ball. You saw what happened. Body wore down. First soft tissue injury in his career. You got to get him help. You got to get guys who could take the load off. They're all in, right? You see they have their name in the Jaylen Brown hat, right? Fans wanted us to get.
I don't know if they're going to go for Jaylen Brown. I think that'd be a crazy swing.
I actually don't think there's a chance.
But say really quickly, because I wanted to jump in on your 49ers point. They're not all in, right? They basically this year, they kind of opened it up to a point where you get some young guys in there. You're clearing up some space for later on, but there's a lot of superstar players on this team that are aging and they're injury prone. I mean, look at George Kittle. Look at guys like Trent Williams. You could go across the roster. Christian McCaffrey was hurt all last year. I still think that he's got a couple of years left of his prime, but you really don't know. So with the Niners, I get it that this may not be the all-in situation. You just signed Brock Purdy, right? I mean, this is the first time we've had a franchise quarterback in over 15 years, but you don't know what the core of this team's going to look like after the next couple of years. And is John Lynch going to be around in 2 years? If Kyle Shanahan flops out of the playoffs this year, and then the next year's a down year, do we even know if Kyle Shanahan's a coach? So I kind of feel like they're still in that Super Bowl or bust mode and that it's going in right now. I just wanted to jump in for the Niners take because that's going to be the most complex one, right? I feel like the Warriors, we know what's going on, but the Niners is tough.
See, it's interesting because I do agree with your point there. Like, it is Super Bowl or bust. If the Niners make a Super Bowl and lose, it's going to be more bitter than it is sweet, right? You're not the Lions. It's not going to be a happy to be there story. I 100% agree with that because of how close you've been. But with the expectations on the roster, like everything, like all things considered, is you have a lot of faith in young guys. You got to see it first. You got to see the D-line actually, come to fruition. See, like, your vision from the
no
draft
doubt
come out. Like, can you stop the run? Last year, you were getting run on down the throat. You couldn't stop it when you played the Vikings, when you played the Rams. Like,
it was like the town bike for the NFL. Everybody took a ride on that run.
Yeah, it was literally
bad.
It was a free pass to the end zone for these running backs. I mean, that, like I said last year, right? Like, when you see the Niners on your schedule and you're a running back, like, that's when you buy out, like, the stadium. You tell your family to come. You tell your girlfriend to come. Like, I'm in town.
You reserve the steak dinner for after the game. It's like, we're going to have a good night today. We're facing the 49ers.
It's like, did you see the video of the Thunder where their championship buses, like, leaked before the finals? Like, it's something like that, right? Where you just know, like, did you not see that?
I did, but I'm saying, has anybody had a worse, like, 24 or 48 hours of a championship than OKC?
Jason Tatum last year was
true.
pretty bad.
But Tyrese Halliburton goes down. Everybody says, okay, it's really the story is Indiana and how much they got jobbed. You have that video come out, right, where, they get leaked. And then, Sage, the parade looked like shit. I mean, I don't know, just tough 24 hours for me with OKC. But I know that's all.
Did you expect the parade in Oklahoma City to be lit? Like,
I don't even know how many people they got. Like, how many people could they realistically roll out?
I don't know, like a million? I don't even know if they hit a million. I'm not sure.
Talk about a team that's all in. Okay, yeah. I mean, true.
No, they're building. I mean, going back to the Niners, though, right? Like, it's hard to say that they're all in. Like, I think that this is just a transition year where you get guys in new spots. Like, I don't know if I can trust that secondary yet. I don't know how much I trust the D-line. I like the picks. Like, I'll keep saying it. I love the picks that they made. I like what they did. I like the vision of the roster, but they might suck. They might be bust. Like, you might have drafted the right position, but the wrong guys. Like, Alfred Collins, the guy still can't get on the field.
You never know. Like, you never know until they put on the pads.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna judge these guys like based on what they look like in shorts and a helmet, right? Like the Christian McCaffrey guys who deep dive his running videos. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'll see it in pads. I'll see it when they're actually up against NFL talent.
That's true. Something though, Sage. Jed York, he's already kind of starting to bring it in. I feel like for the past couple of years, he was going to John Lynch, he was going to Kyle Shanahan. He was saying, guys, whatever you need. You need cash. You need to fill up that payroll all the way to the brim. Do we need to maneuver some contracts for later on? We can make it happen. I feel like that's stopping right now. So you see them buying up teams in Europe. They're buying what? Rangers FC. I think they're looking at a Swedish soccer team. They're trying to grow the business. A little bit less of that money's coming to the Niners. So they got to hit. They got to hit on these draft picks or the window's going to close soon. Soon, I think.
I mean, 100%. You saw it last year, right? Like,
it's risk. There's risk all across the board.
Once that defense, like,
even Posey, like, we love the Devers move, right? Like, everybody that's bringing a lot of energy into the team, but you're paying $300 million to a dude who is a bad defender, basically got kicked out, was a clubhouse nightmare, and is only a DH right now. So that's a little bit risky for me too, even though it did bring some juice back to the Giants because they were lacking it for the past, I would say, about 5 years. Nobody was talking about the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, other than Jung-Hoo Lee, there was no excitement in this organization. I mean,
South Korea loves the Giants right now, but
yeah,
I don't think the Bay Area did for a while.
It seemed like just the Farhan Kapler just like era is going to be looked at as just like the grossest era of Giants baseball of my
Disgusting.
lifetime. Right? Like you have a coach who cares more about his burger and coffee videos than he does about like actually assembling a good lineup. You have Farhan, who's doing this like advanced nerd analytics, refuses to sign big name free agents. You got guys like, what was it? Like Darren Ruff, Lamont Wade, Alex Dickerson, like playing the small ball bullshit, making 1,000, maneuvers in game to try and play the analytics when it's just like, you know what? I'd actually rather just sign Shohei Ohtani. I'd rather just go after a guy like, who knows, Aaron Judge, who we actually did try to get, but just sign the free agents. I mean, there's no payroll, right? Or there's no cap in baseball. Get the free agents, pay the guys. Look what the Dodgers are doing. Fucking $200 to get into a Dodgers game now, right? Because they built a
That's
brand.
what I mean, Sage.
They built a product that people want to go see because there's no cap. I'm thinking the Giants, you get Adames, you get Devers. You're starting to make these moves, right? You're trying to fill up the stadium, even though it's the only way it seems like you could ever get fans in the stadium early or fill out a stadium is when you give out Hello Kitty jerseys. You give out the Jung-Hoo Lee jerseys. Dude, the Giants games, the attendance has been disgusting. And it seems like that's kind of like their whole like central point of the Giants is it's baseball meets like art, right? With that stadium, just getting fans, people who aren't even fans into the stadium, right? Like that's kind of like the claim for the Giants.
Well, I mean, what I loved about those teams in the early 2010s was not only the fact that they were winning World Series. I mean, obviously that was the cake and everything, but Bruce Bochy, love Bruce Bochy, but all the players, they were homegrown. It felt like you were connected to these guys. Even guys like Hunter Pence, they come into the Bay Area. They're immediately scootering all around town. He's getting the kale shakes. Like, he became a San Francisco guy. It was all people that we loved, and we felt like they loved us back. And with Farhan, you didn't get that at all. You didn't get that at all. He was just basically going into his typewriter, into his calculator, trying to see what the best value deals were. And it's like, okay, let me get these three guys. Let me get them into a platoon. And it worked in that 2021 year. You get that NL West title. You lose to the Dodgers in the NLDS. And like you brought up, Sage, that's all great, okay? If the calculations work, you maybe get a couple good years, but nobody's connected to the team. And what happened? The big name players, the stars, that's what won you championships. That's what we had in the early 2010s, and it just felt like the soul was ripped out of the Giants for a while, and that's why they were like the black sheep. That's why the attendance went down. So I feel like a lot of people saw that, and it's coming on the way back up, though, don't you think? A little bit.
There was no characters you could get behind, right? Like, you had so much personality on that 20. Like, think about like the rally thong, right? Like the panda hats. You have like Brian Wilson.
Each year was different too. Like
it was the beer. Heavy. You had Sergio Romo. Like you had all these guys.
Like Timmy Lincecum. Exactly. Like he was like our guy.
Posey leading the entire thing. Like you had these guys who people wanted to get behind. People actually like were going to see. You kind of have it now. Like I said, you're building it back up. Last 2 years, you had some great roster moves. You got personalities. You got guys who people are going to want to go see, right? Whether it's Ramos, who's homegrown, you go out and get a Jung-Hoo, Adames, a guy like Devers, like you said, injected some energy into the crowd. You saw it when he got introduced. Like people were excited for it. The series against the Red Sox, he was getting applauded every time he went up to bat. You didn't see that for the Giants for a while. I mean, there was games against the Dodgers where there was more Dodgers fans than Giants fans. The crowd was empty.
Bad.
It was disgusting for like having such a nice stadium, being actually in the city, unlike another team we're going to talk about later. But for you to get like your own stadium sold out by a different team, like it was embarrassing for a while.
It was embarrassing. And Sage, did you have any plans on talking Giants 3 weeks ago? No,
Never.
We didn't. And this is the thing, that Devers trade, it was a risk that you had to take. And you just got to commend Buster Posey. I know that we're going on the Giants for a little bit here, but this is the topic. I mean, if we're talking about the state of Bay Area sports, I think that everything is revolved around the Giants right now. And it seems like you got that fan energy coming back towards the Giants because this is something we're going to talk about a little bit later. But I feel like at each team at their best, I think the Giants is the Bay Area's team. I think it's San Francisco's team for sure. And I see some of that coming back right now. Is it going to result in a playoff appearance? Probably. Are you going to beat the Dodgers, make it to the World Series, win a pennant? Who knows? Probably not. But just the fact that you're taking swings, the Giants are spending their money, because we know they've been making money the past 15 years. Probably more than any other baseball team in the MLB minus the Dodgers and the Yankees. So I just like that there's an energy back with this Giants team. I feel it. I mean, we're talking about it. I think that this is going to continue for the next 3 months. So I'm feeling good about Giants land right now. I really am. Buster Posey, cool throwing right now.
It's weird because the Giants are the most nostalgic, right? Like when we were growing up, like they were the only team that, I mean, not only, but they were the first team to like show us what success was, what a championship was, right? And you see it like in the city, like even when the Warriors were in Oakland, they were still loved here, but it wasn't as strong as when the Giants were winning in 2010, 2012, 2014. Like you could see it like in 2022 when the Warriors won that championship, the parade, just like the amount of people, like how hype it was. It felt like those Giants parades, like back in the day, maybe it was because it was the first time the city had won in so long, but it just felt so much more hyped. Like there was so much more going on. You could walk around the whole entire thing. The way it was like showcased with the floats, it just felt like more of an event than what the Warriors had. Maybe, I'm just like reminiscing because I was a lot younger than
I was about to say. I think it's because for the 2022 parade, we were maybe about 10 drinks deep, and for the Giants parades, we were just rolling around with our panda hats on, and we were just having fun. So different events altogether, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you look at the Giants because this feels like something new that's coming up, and with the Warriors, it feels like the complete opposite. Like this is the end, and
like Brandon Pajemski.
He's been. Hey, how about Brandon Pajemski at the Valkyries games a little bit?
Dude, that guy annoys
Is it too much? Is it too much, or do you love it?
No, I can't get behind him, bro. I kind of want him off the team. I just can't.
How can he say that? How can he say that over just being at the Valkyries game going crazy?
Like, they call him pods. I just can't get behind a guy like that. Like going from Curry, it can't be like the transition from Curry to pods. It just can't. He tries too hard. He tries to be nonchalant. I don't like the way he plays. He didn't show up in the playoffs this year after all the tweets he had in the offseason about how he's going to make Team USA. They had like the top 10 players under 25. It was like SGA, Luka, and he wasn't on it. Obviously, he quote tweets it with like the writing emoji. Just
yeah.
Let it come to you, bro. Like you're not that guy. Like you could maybe be the fourth best player on a championship. You can't be the third, second, or first.
No, and I think that's where everybody's at right now. That you're going for that last title with Steph. I think that the untouchables are Draymond and Steph. I think those are the only people that we're looking at. We can't get rid of those guys. Everybody else is expendable.
Is Draymond really you can't get rid of?
Yeah, you can't get rid of Draymond. Draymond's the heart and
soul.
Like
sentimental value? Like why?
No, because he's the heart and soul of the team and Sage. You know that Steph Curry's not the same player when Draymond Green's not on the court. He helps him get open. He's the man on defense. I mean, he was literally the entire catalyst of our defense last year, which was our biggest strength. So to shell out Draymond to get, I don't know, a fucking, not a guy like Giannis, but maybe somebody a couple levels below, that's just not worth it, Sage. He's an untouchable, but that's like the one topic right now with the Warriors. It's can Steph, Draymond, Jimmy stay healthy, and who the hell are we going to get with them? And I honestly don't know. I don't know if they're going to make a big move or not, Sage, but with the Warriors, I feel like it's a less interesting conversation right now. I don't know. Like, we just got out of it a month ago. Maybe that's part of it, but...
Ooh, I kind of disagree. I just think that there's something lurking out there. I mean, all the big names that you initially wanted, it seems like are gone, but I think they have to do something. They're going to get bigger. Steve Kerr said it, right? In his latest interview, he said Draymond Green will not be our center in 2025, 2026, right?
You can't roll that out again. It'll just be if it ends
up, if it ends up just being Clint Capella, I'm going to be, blue balled a bit. Like that's going to suck.
Is he still around? Is Clint Capella actually still playing and like a legit player in the NBA?
He was on the Hawks, but they just got Porzingis. So I think he's a free agent. I think he is just going to sign somewhere. I feel like he's going to be the guy to go to the Lakers. I don't want to talk about the Lakers. I don't want to get into that, but they have a move to make. There's so much going on in the NBA. That's what I love about the NBA. There's so many moving parts. You got the draft going on right now. You got all these trades happening this offseason. You had trades going on in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, right? There's always something. Yeah. I mean, going into last year, I would have never imagined that Jimmy Butler would be on my team, and he'd be a guy I'd be rooting for come, March and April. But here we are. So there's always things happening. You never know what's going to happen with Giannis. Like, can you get a guy like Giannis? Probably not, but is it out there? Is there just like a center who's unhappy, a young guy that you can maybe take a chance on? like a Halliburton, like the team doesn't know what they have. Like, who knows? Like, is there something out there? I feel like Dunleavy's done a good job in assembling this roster, always looking to improve it. That's something I feel like Bob Myers struggled in, right? Like, we want to talk about like the Warriors' ascension is I feel like Bob Myers never really improved around the cracks, right? Like, he wasn't good at improving the role players. Like, after the 2022 championship, like, what did they do? I feel like Dunleavy's always looking to improve, like, all around.
Sadra, this is where you kill me because I think that Bob Myers took a team that was never shit. He got them to 73 wins. Well, first off, he won a championship with them. Got them to a team where they broke the all-time regular season record for 73 wins. You get KD. I mean, who needs to make changes around the edges when you get Kevin Durant and add him to a 73-win team? And then he comes back 3 years later and wins a championship. What are you going to do after that championship? I don't know, Sage. You just won the fucking championship. Why would you change anything? I mean,
it's just sad.
You're a little bit unfair on Bob Myers.
I think
sorry.
I think
the
he's
legacy
a
talk with
drafter.
you and Bob Myers is a little like, I don't know. It's almost like there's something personal there with you
I
and
just
Bob
don't
Myers.
like
It's
the way
crazy.
he drafted. Like, what was his like great draft pick? Jordan Poole, maybe Klay Thompson, I guess, but he wanted to trade Klay.
That was a pretty good one. I'd say Klay Thompson was a pretty good one. Second best shooter of all time at like 11th overall.
The guy who he wanted to trade if it wasn't for Jerry West.
Not confirmed. Hey, Sage, we don't got confirmation on that.
Pretty much confirmed.
Confirmation on that.
Our friend of the show, Bill Simmons, said that they were looking to trade Steph to Milwaukee, but it ended up being Monta Ellis. Like, there's just things out there that I don't necessarily trust, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And I just think that this guy's kind of just getting credit that he inherited Steph Curry. He inherited Steve Kerr. Like, he didn't make the draft pick to get Steph Curry. He didn't hire Steve Kerr. That was just a situation. You have maybe a top 10
What do you mean
coach.
he didn't hire Steve Kerr?
What do you mean?
What do you mean he didn't hire Steve Kerr?
Do you think he hired
What does that
Steve
mean?
Kerr?
He hired Steve Kerr.
No, he didn't. That was a Lake Up move, bro.
Okay, but you gotta consider it this way. And also, we're gonna get to glazing Lake Up later in the show because I feel like it's deserved. I think he's the unsung hero of the entire Bay Area sports scene. But when you put a faith in a guy like Bob Myers, if you're Joe Lake Up, and then you get a coach like Steve Kerr, you got to give Bob Myers credit as well. He's running the ship. If the ship is going into steady waters, you got to give him credit. You can't be like, oh, it was actually the dock captain who told us to take that path right. That's why we're looking solid right now. You got to give him credit.
You would be a terrible boss. You would be a terrible boss. You just like to give credit. You'd like to give credit to the top. You just like, oh, it's everything always falls on the GM, never the scouts. When I talk about Brock Purdy getting drafted by a scout, it's never the scouts. It's always the GM who put them in position, who gave them faith. There's other pieces that go into it.
Is this a guy who's taking shots at blue-collar workers a couple weeks ago?
That was
White-collar Sage? Is this white-collar Sage? Tell me that. But what I will say, Sage, as much as we're talking about Bob Myers right now, I think that after that Jimmy Butler move and what happened after you got Jimmy Butler in there, a lot of people do trust in Dunleavy. And I think there is a lot of excitement for this Warriors team because they have faith that even though you only got maybe a couple years left of Steph, Draymond, Steve Kerr, Jimmy Butler, that they can maybe make something happen to get them back into the mix. And I think that excitement is there with the Giants as well. But don't you just feel like with the Niners, you're coming off of about 2 years, maybe a year and a half after you make the Super Bowl the last time. You have a down year last year, but you keep a lot of that core, minus a couple pieces on the D-line. You draft a couple guys who are expected to be pretty good. It just doesn't feel like there's a lot of excitement with this team, and they're almost like the black sheep of the Bay Area sports scene right now, even though they probably have the best chance out of anybody to win a championship. And they're the NFL team of the NFL team of the region, so they're going to be the most popular just by numbers wise, but it just feels like there's like a bad vibe around people with the 49ers. Don't you think? I feel like I'm picking up on that.
No, it's just like the Niners are just so different because you love them so much, but when they let you down, you just hate them. And they've just let you down for the past 15 years that it's like, how can you trust them? What makes you think this team is better than the team in 2023, right? So when that team fails, when it feels like you have probably the best Niners team since what? Like 96, 95, whenever's the last time you won it.
94, but 94. Definitely the best team since 94.
23, like you have that roster. I mean, I'm a homer. I'm going to say it, but it felt like you were 10 times the team that the Chiefs were. I felt like you had them at everywhere except the quarterback, and your quarterback still played a B, like an B above average game, I would say
he played good enough to win, Sage. He did.
Walks off the field with a lead, and you just let them go down 80 or 75 yards, score no problem. Every 49ers fan knew the entire time that they were going to score, they were going to get in the end zone. It just felt like the slowest death ever. So when you take your fan base through like the absolute ringer, and then this is the year where you're kind of just like, oh, it's time for the Niners to prove it again. It's like, how far can they really go? We said it. It's Super Bowl or bust with the fan base, right? No one's going to be happy with another NFC Championship appearance. No one's going to be happy with another Super Bowl loss.
No.
Can you win it? It doesn't feel like they can win it, but it feels like they can make some noise, which is kind of just a step back from where they were 2 years ago. So it's like, I feel like they're just waiting to see it, right? Like we talked about the schedule. You could dive into the schedule all you want. There's going to be hype with this team as the season goes along because they're going to start like piling up W's. They're going to make teams like who do they open up with? Sam Darnold week 1, right? Then
I think it's Seahawks, and then you have like Saints. 3 easy games. You got at the Saints week 2.
You get Tyler Shaw in his second game. Like you're going to start making these bad teams look bad. You're going to make yourself look better. You're going to hang 30 on them, hold them to 10, and then the hype's going to build. The national media is going to come in. Oh, week 6, they're the 1 seed. Like, look at who they have left. Like, is 12-4 on? And then it's like, oh, wow, the Niners have won 13 games. That's when the hype goes. I just think in the summer, right, with so much going on after such a disappointing year, right, you won 6 games when you were supposed to be the NFC favorite.
Nightmare season. It was a nightmare season.
They were the Super Bowl favorite last year going into the
everything
season.
That could have went wrong. It was a straight up nightmare.
Yeah, it's hard to gain that trust back. It's hard to gain like the hype back once it's gone. It feels like they're in, like I said, they're in like kind of like taking a step back. Like, let's see what we got with the rookies. They didn't have a fire sale, but they had like an open door policy. Like if you want out, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like Hufanga walks, Greenlaw walks. You let 2 starters from your O-line walk. You let all these guys around the edges, Travarius Ward, right? Your safety position, your secondary looks a little thin. Your D-line's, young. We just got to see it first, right? Like you got to build it back up, build up that trust because time after time, this team just destroys you. There's been nothing more detrimental to my health than the 49ers. It's second to none.
So I think it's a combination of 2 things. I think the biggest point is what you brought up, that the 49ers have kicked us in the balls like 8 times. Really fucking good. Really fucking good. I mean, you had about 3 losses in that Harbaugh era, which it was just like as the years went on, it almost got worse with how they exited the playoffs. You had those 2 Super Bowl losses to Mahomes where you're up late, then he finds a way to come back and get you. And we know the rest, right? I mean, Jaquaski Tart, Brock Purdy in Philadelphia, first drive. That's part of it. The fact that the 49ers have let us down in every big situation, but
Chase, who was the guy with the orange afro that kicked in the nuts guy? He's just going around kicking people in the nuts. Do you know about this?
Orange afro? No. Who the fuck is this?
He had like
is this a Bay Area guy? Or are we talking national?
No, it's literally just like I don't know if it was like a YouTuber or a show. They spoofed it on Family Guy. It's like this guy would go around, he had like an orange afro and just kick random people in the nuts.
Was it like Gallagher or something? Or is it just like, is this like a random YouTube thing?
I think Gallagher sounds, I don't know. I that sounds like familiar.
Chad, help us out. Help us out.
I think it was called like you've been kicked in the nuts. So like that's what I think of when I think of the Niners. When you said that, I was like, that's literally exactly time after time. It's like you get you up here, boom, right in the dick.
That's part of it, Sage. That's part of it. That's probably the biggest part of it. But I also think, and we're coming from a different perspective. We're coming from the peninsula. We're coming from the city crowd. Don't you feel like it's harder for the majority of people to get their arms around this team because they're all the way in Santa Clara? Warriors right now, they're in San Francisco. The Giants, like I said, I think they're at their peak. They're the most popular team in the Bay. Don't you feel like it's a little bit different with the Niners that even when you had that 2023 year where they were looking like the best team in football, they were basically on a march the entire season to the Super Bowl? It just felt like the energy wasn't there, especially with the fact that this is the NFL team. Football runs America. You feel like you should notice that there's a difference between a 49ers playoff run and even with Steph Curry, a Warriors playoff run. I feel like that's part of it, Sage. It doesn't feel like they're the city's team.
I 100% agree. I mean, you have a team that's 50 miles or 50 minutes south of the city. It's like a trek just to get there. You have to take 2 trains just to get to the city if you want to take public transportation.
I won't do it. Sage, I won't fucking do it.
It's a nightmare. No, and getting out of that parking lot, you share a parking lot with Great America, or is it Six Flags, Great America, whatever the fuck it is?
No, it's Great America. But
Yeah.
they were
And
actually
but
go on.
But on top of it, right? Like, and it's not even like a mecca. Like, it's not even like one of the nicer stadiums out there, right? Like, you look at all these new stadiums. You look at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. You look at SoFi. You look at
Chase Center.
The Chase Center, right? Like Chase Center. Like, we can glaze Lake up throughout the show. Like, you privately fund that thing, right? It's an absolute entertainment hub now. You can have concerts. You have a WNBA team you bring in small businesses. You have Thrive City to bring the fans closer to the stadium. You have celebrations outside, right? Like, you have
second most valuable team in all of sports, and that's all because of the moneymaker that the Chase Center is.
100%. Like, and you own the stadium. Like I said, like, you have no backlash from like paying taxpayers' money. Privately fund it from organization. You clean up the Mission Bay district. You gentrify the entire area. You got restaurants like Miller.
Are we pro gentrification right now?
I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like, you saw, you know what Mission Bay was.
If it helps me get championships, I guess I'm pro.
Chase, you weren't walking your dog around Mission. Chase, you weren't walking your dog around Mission Bay before the Warriors got there. Maybe the Giants helped clean it up, but now it's, you have ice cream shops. Like, you have small businesses. You have rooftop bars around. Like, they cleaned up the entire area. You get a hub there. You're like, what, a 15-minute walk from the Giants stadium? When we went for the Rockets game, you see it on our TikTok. Follow us, Westbound and Down. Like, subscribe, follow us here. But you saw it, right? Like, you had the fans walking down from the Giants game. We had a bunch of Giants fans coming to that Rockets game, right? Like, you create a community. That's the whole idea of it, right? You create, like, the Celtics have it with the TD Garden, right? Like, it's not just the stadium, it's a concourse. You have all these businesses. You bring in Splash, right? You just create, like, everything. Like, what the hell is Levi's? It's literally just a random football stadium in the middle of nothing. Like, in the middle of just, like, there's no other businesses. There's no bars around that I could remember. There's the tailgate scene, but it's impossible to tailgate there. I don't
think
like,
they even allow tailgates. Do they even allow you to tailgate before 10 a.m.?
It's like, I don't know about the timing, but it's just about the like the lot, right? Like, you have to get like a lot pass. I don't know. If Michael Cassie's here, maybe you could speak up, but I'm not even sure how it works. Like, it's kind of just like a nightmare what it is. Half the stadium's in the sun during day games. Like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, Sage, we could go on for days about our problems with Levi's Stadium, but really what I wanted to say is that this is going to connect to our big point. So what I wanted to do here, I also wanted to look back on, we've been fans of all these teams since, I think, around what, Sage? About 06. So I wanted to kind of like do a little recollection here. What are the biggest changes that we've seen over the past 20 years? And I think, Sage, the majority of the changes are the stadium factors, right? I mean, you go from Candlestick to Levi's. The Warriors moved to San Francisco. And the Giants really stay the same. But I think the biggest point is, and like I said, we're San Francisco guys, so we usually don't want to talk about this factor, but it's hard to not bring up what's changed over the past 20 years without what happened in Oakland. Right?
Oh,
I mean, that's got to be the biggest thing that's happened across Bay Area sports over the past decade or 20 years.
100%. I mean, you feel it in the Bay Area. I mean, look at all the ex-Warriors who like talk about it. We can use the Warriors aspect or the Warriors perspective because I think it paints the picture the most clear, right? Like, I get the A's and the Raiders just straight up left. It sucks, but when you have the Warriors, they're in the heart of their prime, right? Like, they have KD still. They have like this golden team. They just won 73 games. They brought 3 championships to Oakland. And in the middle of it, they realize all the success, all the money they're bringing in. They're like, do you know what? With all this hype and all this momentum, do you know what we got to do to maximize it? We got to get the fuck out of Oakland. Like, that's how we're really going to,
They knew right away, Sage.
Capitalize
they knew right
on
away.
what we have. And we said, highest valued NBA team, right? By like almost $1 billion. Second highest valued American sports franchise. Is that what you said? Like, you see it because they built the Chase Center. They got out. Like, and you start to think like the A's get out. The Raiders, what year did the Raiders get out? Was it 2020?
So I think the Raiders left in 2020, but yes, the big one basically that started the entire demise of sports in Oakland, like you brought up, was the Warriors. They announced it in 2012. I think Chase Center opens up around 2019, but even before Lego bought the team, they knew that they were going to move to San Francisco. It's what they had to do. And Sage, before they announce it, 18th most valuable franchise in the entire NBA. In the NBA. And now They're by far the most valuable team in the entire league. They're second overall. I think the Lakers at the time of these rankings were valued at $7.1 billion. They just sold at a $10 billion valuation. So it sucks to say, but this is going to be the recurring theme when we talk about what happened in Oakland. These teams are leaving Oakland because let's just be honest, Sage. Oakland is not a rich city. It's a poor city.
Whoa.
But I'm just saying, from everything, there's not a lot going on in Oakland. And if you hear what Mark Davis said, if you hear what's going on with the A's, yes, John Fisher's probably a piece of shit, okay? Both things could be true. But if you're the city of Oakland, 3 teams left you, maybe John Fisher, your ex-boyfriend, was an asshole, okay? But when 3 guys leave you, you're probably the issue too. So I think that what we're seeing is that it's been hard to deal with the city of Oakland. There's not a lot of opportunity there. And Sage, every team that's left Oakland is just way better off after they left. I mean, look at the Raiders right now. They're the 6th most valuable franchise in the entire NFL. The A's are a shit show, but they went up. I think now they're valued at $1.8 billion. And when they were in Oakland last year, and when they were in Oakland last year, I think they were only at $950 million. So
people
it's
could
sad to say.
Yeah, go
ahead. Yeah.
I say people could reminisce on like what Oracle was. Oracle was kind of a piece of shit. Like the crowd was great. You could say whatever you want. The stadium itself was shit, right? It just was. The parking, like everything around it. The Coliseum was shit. And you have like your football team playing on a dirt football stadium like for half the year until baseball ends. So it's like there were just so many just like cheap things. Like you see it with the Bengals, right? When they have to cross the street to go from their training facility to the practice field. Like it's just so many things that you can just like improve around the margins that these Oakland teams didn't do. And then once they get the hell out, it's like, okay, like here's a new life. Like here's a brand new, like a fresh breath of air into the franchise, right? Like you saw with Desmond Bain, right? When he got traded from Memphis to Orlando, and he was like, there was no windows in our training facility. Like we called it the dungeon, like the weight room. Like you had to like wait to get onto the training staff. You had to like book a massage time, and sometimes you couldn't even get on. Then you go to like Orlando, you're in Florida. You just see like the facilities, like how moving to the right area. You go from Memphis to Florida, whatever, Oakland to Vegas. And it just like opens up like the potential of what a franchise can be. Like it's sad, but Chase, like I'm going to punt it back to you. Like, do you think Oakland can sustain a professional sports franchise? Like, is it possible?
Sage, it's over. The era of sports in Oakland is over. Yeah, it's dead. It's dead, Sage. I mean, when the A's moved to fucking Sacramento and they picked Sacramento over you for the next 3 years, I know that they're going to Vegas eventually, but it's over. It's over. Oakland was basically built on being the fact that the Raiders were there. And now they're in Las Vegas and they're booming. They're not leaving anytime soon. Like I said, Sage, from everything that I've heard, you cannot negotiate with the city of Oakland. My roommate, Remo, he's in construction. He says it's a nightmare to negotiate with Oakland. And
shout out blue collar.
There's not a lot of money coming in. So where are these teams going to go? They're going to go to cities that are going to give them the ability to be a big time market team, to get all that sponsorship. And the A's weren't even, I think, allowed to get the revenue sharing from the MLB. It was such a bad situation in Oakland that MLB said, if you don't figure it out, we're literally not going to share all the money that each of the other 29 teams in the MLB are going to get. It got that bad. So when you just combine everything, I think it's over. This is the era of San Francisco, Sage. This is the era of San Francisco, and everything is going to be coming into the city. We brought up the Chase Center. The Warriors are the second most valuable team in the entire North American sports scene. We know that the Giants have been printing money. They're going to continue to print money as long as they actually show up on the baseball field. And the 49ers are in the same boat. I mean, Jed York's trying to buy up a bunch of teams across Europe, but they're still the premier. They're right at the top of the food chain in the NFL. And that's why we brought up earlier that all these teams are all in, right? And that this looks like this is going to be the end of the road, potentially the next couple of years for some of these teams. I think that San Francisco's at a point stage where we're at that New York level. We're at that LA level where we may have a couple down years, but no matter what, just with how powerful these teams are financially, they're always going to find a way to get on their feet. And that's not something that we saw 20 years ago. I mean, think about it,
100%.
Sage. Before Kevin Durant, who was the biggest free agent that the Bay Area ever got? Do you remember a big one before Kevin Durant?
I can't. I like off the top of my
No.
head. Are you saying like NBA or just in
I'm
general?
saying altogether. What I'm saying is that San Francisco wasn't a destination.
I remember when
and now I feel like it's going to be for the rest of the time. Like we've gotten there.
I remember when the Giants traded for Carlos Beltran. I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. It was like, because that never happens to us. We never make these big acquisitions, big trades.
Meanwhile, we got rid of the best, eventually, who was going to be the best pitcher in baseball for like 200 at bats of Carlos Beltran at 33 years old. I mean, what a bad trade.
Chase, I was kind of hitting at this earlier, but like that's the difference, right? Is like you'd say we're like the third, fourth biggest market now in the American sports scene, but all our teams, all our success, right? It's been homegrown. It's been guys like Montana, right? It's been guys like Steph Curry, Brock Purdy now, right? A guy you draft. Obviously, the NFL is a little different, but you have like these guys that you bring up like through your own system, like Clay, Dre, and Steph, right? You don't see that funny enough, because the Thunder just won a championship, but you don't really see that as much these days, right? Like it's always the acquisitions. Like how can you get better? Like what can you spend to get better? What's LA always do? Spend. Look at the Lakers. They're three.
I mean, come on, Sage. You got to give LA some credit on how they draft guys like Kobe, right? I mean, the Dodgers, we could talk about how they get Shohei Ohtani, they get Mookie Betts, but they always have a lot of guys coming through that system, and they have to sell them eventually. So
I get it, but they're spending money. I was honestly focusing more on the Lakers because it's like all they do is spend.
No doubt.
Is spend. Like Shaq, right? Kareem, LeBron, Luka, like all they do, they could just Anthony Davis. They just get it. Like they never have down years. They never have like the lures, right? Like the low points. If you're the Warriors, it's like you see it, you build it back up. Even in 2020, right? It took you kind of, falling on your face to get like build up a guy like Jordan Poole, build up like a Kuminga, whatever, Moody, these young guys like James Wiseman who ended up being nothing, but you invest in your own talent rather than trading away like whatever it may be. So that's the one thing I do respect. I do think it is starting to change though. It seems like these teams are getting a little more spendy, a little more, like what can we do? Like you see it with the Niners a bit, right? Like they're always on the hunt. Like how can we get someone like a Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams? Like we're fostering these old guys. Like we're pushing them out. Let's bring in the new guys. Like we're going to do it through free agency. We're going to punt some picks. We're going to, bring in some fresh blood from like teams that we've seen like proven success, which I do respect because it seems like that's how sports are going in general.
I mean, Sage, these teams are just going to expand out east. There's just a market right now that's available to them that wasn't before. It's the East Bay. And like you said, the Niners have been willing to spend money. We all know that Joe Lacob is almost like, he's like a gambling addict at the casino, like with how he spends money. It's almost crazy. You see the Giants putting in a lot of money. And I get what you're saying, Sage, that with these teams, it's always been homegrown, right? Like with the Niners, I feel like that's been the case. Obviously with the Warriors, that entire run, and even the Giants back in 2010. But what I'm saying is that, yes, we've seen that over the past couple of years. But it's almost like with what we're seeing right now in the world where it's like, okay, these countries, they want to get the nuke. Do they want to get the nuke to use it? No, they want the nuke just in case they have to use it. And that's what I'm saying is going on with sports in the Bay Area right now is that, yes, maybe we don't have to use it. Maybe we hit in the draft and we don't have to be like the Lakers just going after every fucking big free agent that's out there to get us back on track. But this is the thing. They have the capability now. And that's something that was not available to us. And I think that throughout time, what we're going to see right now is that we've seen what's been going on with tech in San Francisco the past 10 to 15 years. And now you got AI coming in. There's just going to be more money rolling into this area, and it's just going to be a positive impact for these sports teams. And Sage, as Bay Area sports podcasters, I'm just saying we got to love it. The times are never going to end. The time's going to keep rolling with this, and we got to feel good. That's basically what I'm saying.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, you see it, right? Like we used to be cheap. We used to like never get free agents, like you mentioned. Now you see it, like they're in the hunt for everything. They're always trying to make moves. It's a desirable location, right? Does it have anything to do with the fact that our teams are actually good now? Like people want to come play for Kyle Shanahan. People want to come play alongside Steph Curry, maybe. But
no doubt.
As long as you get that power, you build that momentum, you build a brand, you get the money, right? You get the power, then you get the women, right? You get the power, then you get the free agents, right? You get the money. You get the power, you build up your franchise, your training facilities. You get a nice-ass stadium like the Chase Center. People are going to want to come play. People are going to want to come play ball for the Golden State Warriors. Just how it is, man. The only thing that I can't say I hate it because I think it's so phony. I just think the only thing the Bay Area will never have that New York and LA have is the famous, like the celebrity row. Like they're getting like, Beyonce, Jay-Z at their games, like for just like a regular season game, like you're getting Chalamet, you're getting Kendall, Kylie Jenner, whoever it may be. Never really see that. Like the Bay Area is just going to pull in like their local talent, like whether it's a Niners player, E40, Pilo, like the guys who have been there since day one. Like you're not going to get like a big movie star to come out.
That is the one thing that we're lacking. It's like, okay, celebrity road for the Chase Center. It's like we got Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. It's like, okay, fucking sick. Sam Altman, I hate you. You're ruining humanity. Get out of here. Get away from my Warriors. So I get that, but Sage, it's LA. I mean, you got Hollywood, and then you got New York, which is like the city that attracts the most famous people in the world. I think that's a New York, LA thing. So who knows? Maybe one day. But yeah.
Before we get off this topic, I just want to say, like, do you think like there's any like is there any part of you that thinks the Niners are almost trending downward because of the decision to move south and like build Levi Stadium? Like how shitty it is, how like gentrified it is, how it just changed the entire outlook of the fan base, and like how the entire NFL doesn't accept it, even though they're still the San Francisco 49ers.
That's the thing. If you're a fan of either the 49ers or the Warriors, this is the decision that you have to make. What do you want? Do you want the Niners to go down to Levi's? Do you want the Warriors to move out of Oracle and go to Chase Center and where they're printing money? They could sign any player that they want. If they have a guy like Steph Curry, they could hold on to him. Or do you want to stay in Candlestick where, it's a dump, but it's our dump, and Oracle Arena where you literally have nothing around and it's in the middle of the shittiest part of Oakland because you have that environment. So it's hard to say, Sage, but there definitely is a change, but I think that it's for the better. If we're just talking about on-field product, it's for the better. When it comes to the vibes, yes, it may go down, but that's just kind of capitalism.
You think the
that's
on-field
that's
vibes
just kind
are
of how it works.
You think on-field vibes at Levi's are better?
No, I said the vibes are going down. I said the vibes are going down. I'm saying the on-field product. Like, in order for us to spend more money to put winning teams onto the field, moving to Levi's, moving to Chase Center will help. But you may not have as good of a time in the tailgate section. You don't agree?
I don't agree with Levi's. Like, what the fuck does it bring? It's just like a random football. It feels like it's just like an event for like tech people there. Like it feels like it lost its blue collar grittiness. Like it doesn't feel like a football team like Lambeau does. Like what's it called, Heinz or whatever the hell they call the Steelers Stadium now. It's not Heinz anymore.
I think it's Acrisure.
Acrisure, yeah.
What a fucking terrible name for a stadium. But like you look at Allegiant, know what that is.
Like I said, Allegiant, SoFi, like Mercedes-Benz. Like I get it, you move away from it, but then you have this sick ass stadium that you can host events at. Do you know the Chase or Levi's? They have a 10 p.m. curfew, right? So even if you have concerts, it's like you got to be done by 10 p.m. Performers hate going there. They never get like really big people there, right? Like, and even if
they're getting Morgan Wallen in a couple months. That's the biggest guy going right now. They've got Taylor Swift.
Did they get Taylor Swift? I don't even know about this. No one I want to see. But it's just a commitment to get down there too. Like it's, I don't know. It's like you got to spend the night if you want to have a good time, or you take it like a $90 Uber. The traffic's always fucked getting out. It just, I don't know. I feel like they could have done better. The way Chase Center's set up is just like so ideal, and I feel like it's just the gold standard. Where like what Levi's is of all the newest stadiums in the NFL, like it's just a shithole. Like AT&T, right? Where the Cowboys play, they have like the sun curtain thing. Or they have like a peak where like the sun just like leaks in, and it just like if you're going down to the south end zone, you can't even see, right? Like there was like so much debate about it last year. Jerry Jones was like, I'm not putting a curtain up. Like it's my stadium. It looks nice. Like we're not putting a curtain up.
Well, he wants God to see his football team, Sage. Yeah. That's the entire point of the debate.
It'd be the easiest fix ever. The Niners, half the fucking stadium's in the sun. Like you can't even, like the Niners always open up on the road. You know why? Because they don't want to play in 95-degree heat to open up the stadium. That's why they open up on the road every single year. Like, I just think it's an issue where you have to like make all these, like adjustments. You have to change everything like about your season, the setup and everything because of how shitty the stadium setup. Like, did you not have an engineer? Did you not have someone just like look up at the sun and think like this could be an issue, like a sun god or just like a Native American or someone who could speak to nature? Just be like, hey, like maybe we might have some like
sun god for sure. Yeah.
Like we might have some issues here, but I don't know.
What I'll say is this. Yes, Santa Clara sucks. The city of Santa Clara sucks. I mean, they kick you out in the middle of COVID. They make you play fucking games in Arizona. So I don't like the entire Santa Clara part of it. I don't like the fact that you got to travel down to the stadium. Sage, this is a fact. 2013 was the last year of the 49ers at Candlestick. They had a profit of $25 million, right? 2014, the first year of the 49ers at Levi's Stadium. Profit, $125 million. So that is the thing, Sage. You said it's going to bring all these sponsorships in there. That's the point. It brings in more money. And I get that we don't like the layout of the stadium, but Sage, they're hosting the Super Bowl this year. They've already hosted a Super Bowl in 2016. You may not like the concerts that are coming in, but I mean, Taylor Swift's coming. Morgan Wallen's coming. Fucking Shakira's probably coming too. I don't know. Whoever is the biggest people around the world, Bad Bunny, some of that K-pop shit going on, they all go to Levi's Stadium. And you got the World Cup coming too. You're going to have World Cup games at Levi's Stadium. So I get that we don't like it. I don't like it. I wish it was different, but it's a moneymaker. It's what is allowing Jed York to spend some money, to diversify a little bit. So it's just a hard truth, Sage. It's a hard truth. It helps out the 49ers when it comes to them winning football games.
So they're 10 years into their contract now?
Yeah, I don't think they're leaving anytime soon. I don't think they're leaving anytime soon, Sage. And when you think about it, I mean, we're a little bit more familiar with the city now. Where the fuck would you put a football stadium if you can't put it at Candlestick anymore? I mean, how much land do you really have?
Marina
San
Green.
Francisco's, I mean, yeah, I'd be down. That'd be sick.
Like right by the Golden Gate. I don't know if they could pull that off.
Every white girl would be pissed off though.
That would
like, you literally ruined my Sunday stroll around Marina Green, and now you're throwing a fucking football stadium.
Put it in the Tenderloin, bro. Gentrify the Tenderloin. Just put it. I mean, yeah, the way San Francisco is laid out is like it's so congested and so compact. Like you can't just put it in the middle. Like Chase, we were in Broadway 2 weeks ago. Did you realize how close Nissan Stadium, like where the Titans play, is to Broadway? Like it's right there. Like, what's the name of where the
and then you got Bridgestone. You got where the Predators were playing.
Or the Predators. Yeah, there you go. Right there. Like, I think that's sick. You can't really have that in SF. You don't really have that hub, which is annoying. I mean, they're trying to build down financial. Or they're trying to build up.
You kind of got it with the Chase Center and AT&T as much as you can.
I'm saying that's not like
the
nightlife
being close
area.
Together.
That's not the nightlife's like all the way on the other side of the city, right? Like wherever you go, whether it's Mission, North, to the Marina, wherever it is. Like there's no real nightlife. I know they're trying to build it there. They're trying to build up financial. They're trying to pass that 4 a.m. curfew, whatever it is. But I don't know. Like I just saw that. I was like, damn, that's pretty sick. Like the way it just all flows together. You have your hub, you have your life. SF's too like kind of spread out. And then in the middle,
that's what it is, Sage.
To ever put anything like that.
It's too sprawled out. So have you ever been to Philadelphia?
Never.
So I never knew this.
Have you been to Philadelphia?
Yeah, I was just in Philadelphia a couple months ago for a wedding. So I'm actually, I know that you're being a little bit of a smartass right here, but I fly into Philadelphia, right? I don't know where the link is. I don't know where Citizens Bank Park is. Sage, they're all literally in the same fucking place. They're all in the same parking lot, even the stadium for the Sixers and the Flyers. So a lot of American cities are set up like that, but in California, you can't really do that. Right? I mean, you had it a little bit with Oakland, but Oakland's different because no offense, Oakland people, Oakland's a piece of shit, and you could basically only build it there. Think about LA. Everything's spread out in LA as well. I just think it's harder to do stuff like that in California. It'd be badass. You'd probably have a great bar scene around there, but it's just not really something you could do.
No, yeah, 100%. Like, that's what I was just saying is that it's just like, it's kind of a lost cause for San Francisco. You'll never have that. You have to kind of spread out. Like where Candlestick was perfect, especially for us coming like from the south going north. It's like one freeway exit. Once you get into the city, it's perfect. Never really have to deal with traffic. It was always like an easy commute.
I will say if you walked on the other side of Candlestick Park, a little dangerous, Sage. It worked out well for us, but if you strolled a couple blocks away from Candlestick and you looked like us, let's just say that.
Yeah.
You were putting yourself in danger. So, all right, Sage, let's dive into our next topic. So this is something new that we're doing, and we figured that if we were going to do an entire podcast about the current state of sports in the Bay Area, that this would be something funny to do. Sage, I know that you know this. I don't know if anybody who's listening right now will know what I'm referring to. This is going to be a little bit like Apex Mountain for Bill Simmons' Rewatchables podcast, where there's not really a legit definition on it, right? But over time, as you start to hear it more and more, you start to get an idea on what it means. But we wanted to dive in right now to what team in the Bay Area has the belt for the most popular team. So there's going to be two factors for this. The biggest thing is going to be what team has the most fan energy behind them. What team is the city, is the Bay Area, again, the most behind. But also, you got to have some success. I'm not just going to give it to the 49ers every year because they're the NFL team back in the Chip Kelly years. So we're going to decide who has the belt right now. But just to give you kind of a description stage, we're going to talk about from 2006 on who had the belt in the Bay Area. This is what I started with. So, okay, let me know what you think after every one. 2006 to 2008, you got the We Believe team. The Giants weren't doing that great. 49ers, no memories really come to me. I got the Warriors holding the belt from 2006 to 2008. When I was young, that was the team that I felt like had the most energy going on in the Bay Area by far. Thoughts?
I'd agree. I mean, like you said, like you're not really picking from the best lot. I think like that. I mean, they had success in the playoffs. You had a fan base around it. You had Roracle, right? Starting to come up. You had the shirts. You had, just like memories, like still iconic NBA moments. You have a 1 seed get upset by an 8 seed. So I 100% agree. That team is still memorable. People still reflect back to those Warriors, even though I'm not going to say they didn't accomplish much. But like people still talk about like the We Believe Warriors. Like, hey, I still, I got the logo here. Like We Believe.
Yeah.
And they had it, right? The shirts too, even past that era. So I 100% agree. Like when you think of Oracle, don't you think of that team? Like won't Oracle's legacy? That's crazy. Actually,
no. I think of the Steph Curry teams, and I think of the teams that win 73-9. But I
do you remember when they used to have like the decibels meter when they used to play, like before Steph Curry? That's like what I think of when I think of Oracle. I should say, not Oracle.
That's fair. That was the most hyped up that Oracle ever got. Even I think during those championship years, that We Believe year was, where you probably had some of the cheaper seats going on in the upper deck. You probably had some of that rowdy crowd getting in there. And then even the year after, Sage, you had that We Believe year, but even the year after, they went above 500, just missed the playoffs. But, all right, Sage, I feel like this is an easy one. From 2008 to 2012, I got the Giants holding the belt for 4 years. You get Bruce Bochy in 2008. You get the first World Series championship in 2010. 2011 is a little bit of a down year. You have that Beltran trade. Posey breaks his fucking leg after Scott Cousins runs into him, but you get that championship back in 2012. I just felt like there was no comparison there. Is there any argument from 2008 to 2012? Who's holding the belt?
I would almost argue. I know that, the other teams had success. I had it stretching to 2014. I think it stretches to 2014. I think they, like you said, when the Giants are at their best, when they're filling stadiums, especially for how not magical. I hate to use that word because it makes me sound like a doof, but for what that run was, like all the comebacks, you had the Madison Bumgarner closeout in Game 7, like one of the best, I'd say, like series of the whole entire Giants era, happened to come in the World Series, Game 7, right? You bounce back in a game you weren't supposed to win, and you watch probably the best. I mean, like, is it the best individual performance in like
it's gotta be. It's gotta be that I've seen.
That you've seen, like 2022 Steph, like is the only other one that comes to mind. But like, you think about the degree of difficulty, what Madison Bumgarner was, like he's not like an all-time legend. He might be in the Bay, but for him to rise to the moment like that, it'll always be memorable. So I just think the hype, like the every other year thing going, you still have Buster Posey, the momentum that team had. I think, like you said, 2009, 2014, I think that's all Giants.
So, I mean, Madison Bumgarner really wasn't even like a superstar Sage. He was more like a folk hero. It's like, how the fuck did this guy do it? He throws 2 complete game shutouts in Game 1, and I think it was Game 5 of the World Series. Comes back, and I think from, the 5th inning on, goes scoreless to lock up Game 7 on the road. You're never going to see that again, but the reason that I have it ending in 2012 is because I gave it to the 49ers in 2013.
Yeah.
That was the year they made the Super Bowl. You get the switch from Alex Smith going to Colin Kaepernick. You beat the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC Championship game. Everybody thinks that you're going to run through Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens, but you lose that game. But that is coming off of a year where you had that first Harbaugh year. where everything kind of comes back. The Niners are starting to gain momentum. So I gave it to them in that 2013 year because the Giants were about 15 games below 500. I don't know.
It's funny because I always complain. I'm like, with like being a Bear, like if you're a Niners Warriors fans, you could relate, but it's like, how come every time the Warriors make the championship, it's like they got to go up against LeBron James? How come when the Niners make the Super Bowl, it's like they got to go up against Mahomes? The Niners, like that year, that is just like, I still think that one hurts the most. That's my first time ever really losing, like feeling that defeat, right? Like that Ravens team was not shit. You were supposed to win. The way the team handled it, just like so unprofessional. Like I will always have such just like spite and anger and just terrible memories. It's almost like the 73-9 where it's like, for how great that team was, it's like I almost can't appreciate it because of how it ended. And it just sucks.
That's fair. I mean, you got Alden Smith going crazy on Bourbon Street Saturday night before the Super Bowl. It's like, guys, could we stop the partying for like 12 fucking hours and just party after we beat up on the Baltimore Ravens? So I agree with you a little bit. Definitely some memories that you can't look back on too fondly with the Niners. But I got the Giants getting the belt back in 2014, like we brought up, Madison Bumgarner. That entire run, you got to give it to them, even though the Niners follow up with another appearance in the NFC Championship game. And even you got the Warriors winning their first championship. But Sage, 2015 is where I have the Warriors taking the belt. I got them going from 2015 to 2019 the entire way.
I think they always had it. I know you're going to say that the Niners took it. I think the Warriors have had it ever since Steph Curry's been on the team. I mean, there's no, obviously, from 2015 to 2019.
So you're saying 2014 that you would give it to the Warriors over the Giants when they won the World Series?
No. I'm saying from 2015, from the 73-9 year until present day, I think the Warriors.
Okay, I got you.
I think if you want the belt, you got to come take it. Win a championship. I get the success. Like, I get almost getting there. Like, that's cute. I need hardware, right? Like, the Warriors, like, even in the midst of, like, the Niners, quote-unquote, taking the belt, the Warriors got another one. The Warriors have come the closest, right? Not come the closest. The Niners have come the closest but haven't done it, right? You can't just get there for me. Like, you can't just lead me almost there and then jump off a ledge, right? And just shit your pants like every single time you get there. You need to close the deal. Until then, you can't have the belt. You got to do it, man. You can't be it until you do it.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Like I said, I got 73-9 year all the way to the last year of KD where he tears his Achilles.
Yeah, no debate.
And then I got to say, Sage, I gave it to the Niners 2020 to 2021. I just thought that was the only team that was realistically competing for a championship. You got Steph Curry going down, and I think it was the 5th game of the season after that KD year. 2021, they make it to the play-in. They lose to Memphis. Yes, Steph Curry has a great year, but I just felt like the Niners were running the Bay at that point. Everybody was talking Shanahan, Jimmy G, the entire thing. I just felt like the Niners were running the Bay Area at that point. So I gave it to them from 2020 to 2021, but I did give it back to the Warriors 2022, of course. Steph Curry gets his 4th ring. You got to go with that. And then I had 2023 to 2024, the 49ers.
Also, no love for the Giants in 21, almost beating the Dodgers in the playoffs.
No, I thought about it, but there's no way, Sage. There's no way.
No, I agree.
They beat the Dodgers in the NL West. They got, I think it was 107 wins, but you got the 49ers going up for a Super Bowl, making it to the NFC Championship game. I had to give it to them.
It sucks because both times, like, the Niners were just on the wrong side of, like, a historic, like, the Mahomes' first Super Bowl win and the first Super Bowl game to go into OT, and it was a good OT finish, but you're on the wrong side of it every fucking time. It's like, it's just like, it's so gut wrenching. I disagree. I think 2023 was still the Warriors. They're defending their title. They came off a championship. I get the Niners almost got there. The Warriors defending their title should have beat the Lakers. I mean, you collapse in game 1, really collapse in game 1, kind of sets the tone for the entire series. You couldn't get back on track, couldn't steal one on the road. But I mean, like we did mention it, like that 2023 Niners team was special. Best team of my lifetime. To this,
I think you're way off. I think you're way off. I think that with that Niners team, with the fact that it's NFL and the fact that they made it all the way to the Super Bowl, I think you gotta give them the belt, Sage. You gotta give them the belt. I mean, you're giving me the Warriors after Draymond Green punched the shit out of Jordan Poole, and they got bounced out by the Lakers in 6 games. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I think
the hype
part of it is because you're a Warriors guy over the Niners, which I think a lot of people are. But
I'm a Curry guy. I think I'm a Curry guy over. I think I'm a Niners fan, but what Steph Curry has given me can never be taken away. So I'm gonna ride or die for that guy. Like we talk about it all the time, right? Like what the Warriors have given me, the Niners have taken away. Right? All the joy that the Warriors have given me, the Niners have showed me the opposite side of the coin. Right? So it's like when I have that relationship with you, when everything I've done, like with you, everything you've done to me has been negative, it's hard for me to look at you in a positive light. I just think of like terrible memories. Like I don't want to be near you. I can't trust you. So that's why I fall on this side of the table. Could you trust the Niners? Like if they were to,
I mean, it's almost like you're talking about like an ex-girlfriend who cheated on you right now.
If the Niners were to make a Super Bowl right now,
man, you're getting emotional on me with the Niners. It's
if
crazy.
the Niners were to make a Super Bowl right now and be 9.5-point favorites, you wouldn't trust them. You'd be like, the worst thing ever is going to happen. If the Warriors were to pull like a championship against the Orlando Magic, you know they're taking care of business. There's a difference between people who rise to the occasion and people who don't.
I'd be lying if I said that the Niners make it back to the Super Bowl and I'm not thinking about the entire blow-ups that they had. So, all right, Sage, you can make your answer really quick. So we kind of went through the past, whatever it was, about 18 years. I'm guessing you still got the Warriors with the belt right now? Nobody's taken it so far, so you got to give it to the Dubs?
I think the Warriors have the belt right now. They're the only team that I think is truly all in. I think they're the closest. Like you look at the landscape of the NBA compared to the NFL, and what the Warriors have versus what the Niners don't have. We all love Brock Purdy. He's a top 10 guy. They don't have that elite quarterback, right? They don't have that top 5 guy who could carry you there. You need the supporting cast. The supporting cast is, questionable. I think the schedule is very favorable. Like I said, they're going to start piling wins, creating momentum. You're going to see them blow out these teams. We're not going to know who the Niners are until the playoffs. That's just the reality of the situation. Like they can kick the shit out of the Saints, the Bucks, the entire NFC West. I'm not going to know what they are until I see them go against Philly or Detroit or someone from the AFC. So I think that's the unfortunate reality of the situation. The Warriors, on the other hand, they're proven. They're meddled against these like top teams, right? Like they had a 3-1 against the Thunder this year. I truly think if Steph Curry doesn't blow out his hamstring, they win the championship this year. I think no team deserved it less than the Oklahoma City
Very optimistic outlook by you right there, Sage. I don't know.
Do you think the Thunder honestly were levels ahead of the Warriors?
They were definitely better, Sage. They were definitely better.
They weren't as deep as you thought. They don't play as big as they'd like. They want to play small. They don't shoot the 3. I just think there's ways the Warriors could have exposed them. It's just the Pacers just couldn't do it. When it came down to
Listen to our Patreon for our analysis of the NBA Finals and what we think about the OKC Thunder and Sam Presti.
I digress. You're right. I'll get back to the topic here. I'll just say this. I think that the Warriors are the closest to a championship right now. I think that the NBA is very wide open. While the NFL each year, it seems like it's getting deeper and deeper. Like, would you at least agree with that? Like the NFC this year, we're lucky because we don't have to play it, but I think the NFC is like 4 or 5 teams deep of like teams that could actually win a Super Bowl, and I wouldn't be like floored. If the Lions won it, I wouldn't be shocked. If the Eagles won it, I wouldn't be shocked. If the Niners won it, I wouldn't be shocked. If the Commanders won it, I wouldn't be shocked. I think maybe we draw the line at the Rams. Like, could they win it? Probably not. But if they won it, would I be like floored if they got the right matchup? Probably not. And then the AFC, it's murderer's row out there, right? Like you have the 3 top dogs. You got Lamar, you got Josh Allen, you got Mahomes. Then you got like the Bengals who are looking to make some noise. You got a team like the Texans who are looking to bounce back. Like, I don't know. Like, I just seem like the Niners just fall into like, they could do it. Where the Warriors, you got Steph Curry in a series. Like, I'm just going to trust them. I think the Warriors are much more poised to make a championship run. So I think they got the belt.
Okay. So this is what I'll say. The 49ers are persona non grata. I don't think anybody's really feeling the 49ers, even though, like you said, you got that easy schedule. I just feel like the juice isn't there with the 49ers right now, and I'll stand behind this, Sage. I'll stand behind this. I think that when all the teams are doing well, minus maybe a little bit of the Steph Curry effect, I think the Giants are the Bay Area's team. I think they're definitely San Francisco's team. So
right now, you think over the Warriors?
Well, I'm saying when everything's going well. When you're competing for a championship. I think that is too early. You just made the trade for Devers about 2-3 weeks ago. So you can't say that they stole the belt from Steph Curry just yet. So I agree with you, Sage. I think that for 2025, you got to say that the Warriors still have the belt. I don't think that they would have been in OKC, but they were definitely poised to make a deep playoff run. Steph pulls up with the hammy, but you got some faith in Mike Dunleavy that he's going to make some moves to keep them into that championship window. So I got to agree, Sage. I think that the Warriors got the belt right now. Any chance San Jose Sharks, Macklin Celebrini gets into the mix a little bit in the next couple of years?
When's the draft for that? I know the NBA draft is tonight. When's the NHL draft?
Do we want to do our new segment, Sharks in 60 Seconds?
Go for it.
No, I'm kidding. We'll preview that a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Sage. I feel like we got it pretty well there. We only disagreed on a couple things, on a couple different years. But
I think
for the most part, I feel like that was pretty solid.
It seems like it's really been like a clean pass of the torch, right? The Giants go down, the Warriors come up. The Warriors go down, the Niners kind of come up a bit. The Warriors kind of always been in the mix. They had like a down year, but like I said, you got to take it, right? The Giants have hardware. They got 3 of them. The Warriors got hardware. They got 4 of them. The Niners got nothing to show for it in the past 30 years.
Sage, I think that something's going to change, and that we brought up. This is all in mentality. This is all in mentality right now. Okay? So we may not know what's going to happen over the next 3 years. We've had a good understanding of who has the belt for the past 20, but I think that that's going to change a little bit. So we're going to close out the show with some bold predictions for 2030. Sage, we're heading into unproven waters. We don't know what's going to be happening, but I will say this. We got our finger on the pulse. I feel like we know what's going on with these teams. We have good entire layouts of what's going on across the leagues in baseball, football, basketball. So give me a couple bold predictions that you got for 2030.
Okay, Chase, mine are by 2030. You know what I mean?
Yeah, by 2030. Yeah, by 2030. Not for the year 2030.
All right, Chaser. I think
let me hear it,
the Niners still won't be Super Bowl champions. The Niners will still not have a ring by 2030. I think that's clear. I think by 2030, I honestly don't think that. What? Is that
okay, Sage, I'm gonna have to jump in. I'm gonna have to jump in for a
I know
that's
what's gonna be yours. You're gonna be like, oh, the Niners are gonna have 2 rings. The Niners are gonna be the dynasty. They're gonna be the new Chiefs of the NFL.
No,
I'm gonna zag you, bro, and I'm gonna be right.
I got 3 bold predictions. I'm gonna throw 3 at the people's way, but I think the first one is that the Niners are gonna win the Super Bowl this year. It's a bold prediction. Hey, Sage, it's a bold prediction for a reason. Okay, I'm not telling you what I'd fucking take out the mortgage on and bet on tomorrow. Okay, this is a bold prediction, but with the schedule that you got, you still got top tier talent across the board
for 2025.
Well, I mean, they're going to win the Super Bowl in 2026. So it'll be the 2026 Super Bowl, 2025 season. But you got to say that aside from Brandon Ayuk, and we're going to get to him, people. Okay, we're going to get to him. Watch out for a show in the next couple weeks. We're going to get to that fucking guy. But aside from him, you got a lot of positive vibes going on. You got that easy schedule. Everybody seems healthy. So you got the Super Bowl.
It's like the ultimate
at Levi Stadium. You got the Super Bowl at Levi Stadium. If you could get that 1 seed, you got home field advantage all the way through the Super Bowl. So it's a bold prediction, but I got Niners winning the Super Bowl in 2026.
Chase, it's the ultimate trump card for Niners fans this year. It's like, have you seen the schedule? It's like, have you seen the schedule? Like, hey, we don't have a D-line or an O-line.
Sage, I don't know if you knew. It's the 32nd ranked schedule.
Chase, I've seen the
difficulty.
Schedule. Yeah, I get it. And like I said, Chase, we did a Niners show 3 weeks ago. My bold prediction was that they'd be the 1 seed in the NFC. And I truly believe that that's possible. I think it's a 13-14 win team, but going back to my point from earlier, I'm not going to know what the fuck they are until they play a contender.
Till they play the Eagles, till they play the Lions.
Chase, my takes are fluid. They flow together. You could, string them together.
Fluid.
Nothing contradicts. Nothing contradicts it. You know what I mean? So I just don't see it, man. I really don't see it. I think that this is going to be a year that they step back. I think with Brock Purdy, you got to have the roster, and I got to see the roster prove out. Like, what the hell is this team's secondary? As of right now, they have no safeties. Their safeties look like they're running in mud. That's a concern. Their best cornerback's Deommodore Lenoir, and then their second best cornerback is Renardo Green. Like, how are you going to cover if you can't get to the quarterback? If this D-line doesn't pan out, your defense is going to be Swiss fucking cheese. Like, you're hoping on all these guys to pan out. So
that's what I was gonna say, Sager. Like, I feel like if anything, we gotta be worrying about the D line. Like, if we got badass players across the board, and we're a little weak at safety, I'll take that. I don't think that it's gonna be a situation where you're weak at safety, and it's like, okay, there's no way you're being Philly with those safeties. So no, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean. That's why I said bold prediction. You gotta have a little yin yang factor. You're the conservative guy. I'm the optimist. Okay, that's just how it works. That's why we work well together. You got any other bold predictions? I got 2 more to fire off, but
I think the Warriors.
First, go ahead.
I think the Warriors are going to have ushered in a new superstar. That was one that I think, going back to our topic from earlier, is that with Steph Curry gone, because by 2030, we'll probably Steph will be 43. But we kind of were building on earlier, I think the Warriors are going to have found their guy. They're going to find, whether it's through the trade, through free agency, through the trade market, through the draft. I think the Warriors are going to have their next cornerstone. They're going to have the next guy to build a franchise around. No, it's not Brandon Podziemski. No, it's not Jonathan Kuminga. It's going to be someone who's not on the roster yet.
Moses Moody?
Yeah, fuck no. Trace Jackson Davis? No. Quinn Post? No. It's going to be someone who you can't even buy their jersey right now. They're a Warriors jersey. This kid might still be in high school. Who knows? I think they're either going to bottom out and they're going to, get a cold envelope, get, a little push to the top of the balls, or they're going to do something drastic in trades, something similar to like the Lakers, and just realize like, hey, we can't ever be bottom feeders again. Like, we're a national brand. We got a brand to protect. We're a company. We're not just businessmen. We're businessmen. So we got to get that guy. I think by then the Warriors will have ushered in a new era with someone they could build around.
Okay, so Sage, I don't know if you got the notice. This is bold predictions. Sage. I need you to get a little specific with me. Don't worry. That's why I came to play. So,
I think Draymond Green will be president of the United States.
No. This is my second bold take. So, Sage, I'm gonna lay my nuts on the table. I think it's gonna happen.
Can I guess?
I got Giannis Antetokounmpo coming to the Bay Area, and I think that he's gonna win a championship with Steph. I'm going there, Sage. I mean, him and Steph are tight. This was like the number one news story coming out of like the All-Star game party scene in the Bay Area. Giannis was the only non-Warriors player to go to Steph Curry's party. We know that the situation with Milwaukee is the shits. He's going to try to run it out this year because everybody is dropping like flies in the East. I mean, you got Jason Tatum going down. You got Tyrese Halliburton going down. The Sixers are already a shit show. Everything's going wrong. So he's going to try to run it one more year with Milwaukee, but they're not going to do anything. Dame tore his fucking Achilles too, so they're even banged up. And
that's why I don't get it.
He's gonna want out, Sage. He's gonna want out. He's got 3 more years on his contract. Curry's gonna come to that point where I like Jimmy Butler. Okay, I don't know if he's the guy who could lead me to that 5th championship with only 2 years left. They're gonna bring in Giannis. Like I said, they're the second most valuable franchise in the entire fucking world. They're gonna take big swings. They're gonna try to get that last championship for their guy, Giannis, coming to the Bay Area.
I can't say I hate it. I mean, I just don't understand what he's even doing in Milwaukee at this point. I think, like, no matter who he did come to mind, but there's going to be some movement, some sort of star that they're going to try and bring in. They will not settle for mediocrity anymore.
All right, so Sage, I'll be honest with you. I got 4% left on the battery, so we got to close it out pretty quick. What I will say, I got one more prediction. This is not going to be a positive one.
Go for it.
I think the Giants are going to struggle over the next 5 years to get past the NLDS. And I think the Dodgers are in the middle of a three-peat. I just think that this Dodgers team is a runaway train. Nobody's going to stop them. They got they got the Japanese Babe Ruth. They got a bunch of guys coming up in the farm system. They shipped off guys like Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, all these stars, and they just get new ones coming in.
It literally doesn't matter, yeah.
They are the pinnacle of a franchise just running as efficiently and effectively as possible on the same level as the Warriors, I think. So I got the Dodgers three-peating. I got the Giants. Even though they may make the playoffs, I think they're going to struggle to get back to an NLCS and to make a pennant.
I like it. I mean, I can't say I like it, but I agree. I don't think it's bold. I mean, the three-peat's pretty bold. I'll say that. But I think the Dodgers as an organization, like structurally, their front office, I mean, the guy who just bought the Lakers, like everything about them, they're just well run. They're an A-S tier organization, whatever you want to call it. So like putting your chips on them, like that's a stock I want to buy, right? That's a blue chip right there. Like that's something you want to invest in. That's something you want to see your returns on. Probably will see returns on. Will they win 3 in a row? Or I guess just 2 in a row now following this one? I don't know, but will they get 3 by 2030? Like I wouldn't bet against it. Like, what do you think that if I were to set the Vegas line, not including last year, what is their over under in championships before 2030? Would you say it's 1.5, 2.5?
I'd say 1.5 would be a great bet.
Would you bet over it? Would you bet over? Because I would. What is that? 5 more years to get 2
I don't know
rings?
if I'd bet. I don't know if I'd bet over it. That's a tough bet.
Motherfucker, you just said they're going to three-peat.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's a tough bet to throw like even odds on.
I guess. No, it's true. It is bold predictions, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's bold predictions. I mean, if you're telling me, I mean, it can't be at 2.5. That'd be crazy. Like baseball, it's a crapshoot. Anything can happen in baseball.
That is the thing about
But
baseball. The Giants could just randomly win one year and then just be the worst team in the league the next.
Sage, any other takes that you got, my brother?
None. Chase, tell them where they can find us.
So, guys, we're going to be pumping out TikToks. Sage is going to, I hate to give away the location of my boy. I mean, I know that we're getting into the celebrity sphere a little bit, but my boy's hitting Baja. He's in Cabo, San Lucas
Cabo.
for a week or
Nice.
two. So we're not going to get a lot of streams coming out, but we're going to have some TikTok content rolling through. So look out for that on TikTok. Follow us, please. Like and subscribe. YouTube. If you're on Twitch, fucking follow the Twitch, please. We need to get the Twitch numbers up. And as always, you can follow us on X a little bit as well. Sage, anything else for the people before we hop off?
You like what you're
Tell
seeing?
them how much you love them.
We love you guys so much, so much. I love you guys all so much. Everyone who's here, we love you. Keep hitting that like button. Subscribe. Hit the share button. You like this? I'm sure there's people around you like it too. Share it around. You know what to do.
Sage, what's the drink of choice when you're in Cabo for a week?
I mean, Chase, you want to take a guess?
Okay, so you like going pina coladas, but you like doing it without rum. You like mixing in the vodka with it.
It's called the
So you're
Chi-Chis.
going
That is my
Chi-Chis.
drink-
Are you a
That is my
Chi-Chi guy?
drink of choice. Chi-Chis. I mean, I do get nervous with like the blended ice. I don't, like they say not to drink the ice, but I usually just go beer when I'm in Mexico because like I have a really weak stomach and I fear of getting.
You can't trust the water out there either.
Montezuma's
you can't even trust
Revenge.
the ice in Mexico.
Yeah. So probably beer, but if I'm feeling frisky, little Chi-Chi.
Over under. So how many days are you there?
4 nights, 5 days.
4 nights, 5 days. Over under 40 drinks.
It's all
While you're in
inclusive. I don't
Cabo.
know. I'm gonna say under. I'd like to think under for the sanity of myself. I'd like to say under.
8 drinks a day. I mean, Sage. I mean, I'm guessing if you're in Cabo, you gotta start at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you're going all the way till at least midnight.
You gotta get your money's worth. Like that's all I'll say on that. Like you gotta get your money's worth. Throw a
Are we
peso
at
or
the
two
all
for the
inclusive?
waiter.
Are we at the all inclusive kind of
course,
resort
yeah.
or no?
To be honest, I wasn't sure if I want to do all inclusive. Like I've heard so many bad things. First time doing it. If you have any advice, like leave it in the comments. I did stream some Reddit, and everyone says just get beer, get your money's worth, just keep ordering beer. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. And you're gonna get a vodka soda. They're gonna juice you up. They're gonna put like fucking 80% soda. So I'm just gonna get a Modelo, Corona, drink for free. Eat for
If
free.
you just started listening to the podcast, if you just hopped on here, we got some lessons for you. Don't drink the water in Mexico. When in doubt, go with the beer. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, all that shit.
Chase, what are the
Stay
3
dirty.
don'ts in life?
3 don'ts in life. All right. So that's going to be it for the episode today, guys. Like I said, look out for that content that's going to be coming out. And that's going to be it for the stream today, though. We'll talk to you guys later.